Tonight we're going to be playing a campaign of Infernal Machine from GMT Games. We are going to be playing the Confederate side. I know the rules better for the Confederate side, so it'll be easy for me to play. Campaign set up. We start in spring 1861. So for campaign setup, for the Confederate side, we choose one of three locations. We can either start in Selma, Norfolk, or New Orleans. We can go to shuffle and select one at random. It should be that one. The locations, just go up there, and we are going to be starting in Norfolk. So the mission board starts off with the training board. Training board won't really come into it this early in the game. When we get round to doing missions, we will put out the training board. So the other things we've started a setup. Training level starts at 0. The alert level is on 0. You start in spring of 1861, so we start with 2 plus 1 actions. Our prices gauge is at 0, so 3 actions. The next thing we do as part of setup is we select 3 investor cards. We do have to invest in the cards slightly off camera, just to the side here. So we're going to select 3 investor cards and choose 1. So go 3. Oh, second and no, I'm shuffling floor because we select 1. So we have AJ Marshall, gives us $35. Pretty good start. 1 experience, and for when we're selecting the mission type, 2d10. That's not going to come into it for at least, I'd say, a year or 2. Gunboat Society, $15, $1 per mission each winter, and +1 to our letter of mark die roll modifier. Could be quite useful. And we have Martha Maori, $35, and dollars come to our training level each winter, which again is not really going to be much considering we start on 0. We have no boat or anything else to go and do training missions. So I think we will go with AJ Marshall. It gives us an extra experience. When we do get round to doing missions, if he's still around, you get an extra die. So I'll just throw him down there for now. Okay, we'll go into our discard pile. So $35. So we do get these tokens to mark on here, so it'd be like $10 and 5. However, this number line here is also used for keep counting the number of missions, the number of leaks we have, the amount of experience we have, the strength we have in our boat, and the weight of our boat. So we're not going to use these markers. Instead, we are going to use poker chips. So we are going to start with $35. So now we are our campaign set up. Or the board is set up. So each turn or each season of the campaign follows the list down here. So the first step we are going to do is the income. So for the income, we get whatever our shop gives us for that season, which is $5. Plus, if we had any contracts, which we add on to the start of the game, we would also get the value of those contracts. You then roll on the fortunes for the fortunes of war. So you roll a 10, start off with. So for our fortunes of war, we have a look on our Confederacy almanac. We go to the year spring 1861, and we just go down and have a look. Off the telegraph from Baton Rouge comes the sad tale of a fire on the riverboat Sam Houston. Sparks from trash wood shot up the chimneys and landed on the upper deck, setting gear ablaze. If your location is New Orleans, your investor cashes in on the insurance, gains $10. If located elsewhere, this result has no effect. So also on our almanac at the bottom, you can see what contracts are available this season. We have some quotes from relevant figures at the time. We have the events for the end of the season. So now we go into the action stage. So we've got 3 actions. So our current experience is 4, so we really need to get that up before we buy some boats. The actions that we have available to us are listed here. So we can build. That's what we're going to have to do eventually. That's how we build our fish boat. We can change location. We can contract, which is spending experience, and it gives us extra money for contracts. You can see here at the bottom of our almanac, we have a $2 contract for 3 seasons, and we need 2 experience. $4 contract for 2 seasons for 3 experience, and a $5 contract for 2 seasons, but we need 3 experience or 4 experience. We can go for some investment, which I don't think we need at the moment. We can go for our letters. So there's 2 letters available that we will need to get. The letter of mark allows us to perform non-training missions, which we will need eventually, but not in a rush for. And the letter of recruitment allows us to hire sailors during a recruitment action. We're not in a rush to get these. I think it's easier to get the letter of recruitment if you've already had the letter of mark. And we also want the other things like our training levels up. We have a recruit action and we have a salvage action. We can't do the salvage action at the moment because we've got nothing to salvage. So what we'd like to do is get some contracts, but we can't do any contract until we've recruited some staff. So the first thing we're going to do is to recruit. If you look at our card here, for Norfolk, we can recruit 2 journeymen, a sailor, which we can't recruit at the moment, or a mechanic. Also, Norfolk has a special ability. Recycle a journeyman to gain a mechanic. Cost an action, but no dollars. Mechanics generally tend to be more expensive and better. So there is only 2 journeymen for the recruit. But let's do that. So for action 1, I'm going to recruit 2 journeymen. So we just 2 journeymen. And we have Charles Asker. Costs us $2. Gives us a black cube and 12 fate pool. He has 2 strength. Not particularly great. Black cube is useful. Henry Bird, 2 strength. When the top bit is when they are part of a crew, when we go on missions. So we want high strength, and he's allowed to be do mechanical actions on our crew. And he's got 1 experience, but nothing else. So I wouldn't say they're both particularly great. The 2 strength is useful, so we will hire him anyway. So that will cost us $5. So we now have 2 experience, so we could get a $2 contract if we wanted. But what we're going to do is we're going to recruit again. And we're going to recruit a mechanic. So we can just recruit 1 mechanic. You get James McClintock. 2 experience, which is pretty good. It cost us $8. But if he was part of our crew, he has 2 strength. He can steer, mechanic, operate equipment, and he can repair. So it's pretty good. So we hired him for $8. Plus Robin Penn. Then for our last action, we will now, I think, get a contract. And I think we'll go straight in for the $5 contract for 2 seasons, which we need to provide 4 experience. So to get a contract, you take the $5 symbol, you put it 2 seasons ahead, because that's how long the contract's for. Then we've got to provide 4 variance points. So he's got 2, 3, 4, and these will go into the $5 contract slot up here. They are now unavailable. They don't count towards any experience with the shop until this contract expires. That was our last action. So after our final action, we go to the calm phase. Got no one in sick bay, so no sick bay. So we do the event. The event is down here in the almanac. The event. In April, in anticipation of a relief ship, Confederate forces assemble around the harbour of Charleston and fire on Fort Sumter. That federal garrison soon capitulates before the ship arrives. If your location is Charleston, add a black cube to the fate pool. If located elsewhere, an exuberant patriot feels generous, gain $5. So we are going to gain $5. And what else we should have gained is when we hired Charles Hasker, we should have got a black cube in the fate pool. So that's the end of that season. You go to summer, still in 1861. Back to the income phase. Income, we're getting 6 plus 5. So we are now getting $11 of income. Doing quite well yet. Actions is just 2. So that's the income phase done. So now we roll for Fortunes of War. And we rolled a 2. So in the almanac, we now move to summer 1861, and you get a 2. One of your team members was caught interfering with a neighbour's driver. They attest nothing was said to the old man about abolition or the Underground Railroad, but a mob grabs them. They are tarred and feathered in the street while the driver is menaced by his owner. Roll a die. And we get a 9. If the number rolled is even, randomly select a person from your shop and place them in sick bay. If odd, recycle a person, they are driven out of town. So technically, we've only got one person in our shop. The others are on a contract. So I am not counting them. So this guy is driven out of town. It says recycle a person. Recycle means discard, not remove from the game. So it's a good chance you could get him back. We'll just put him in the discard pile. Now we go to our actions phase. We've got 2 actions. We've got lots of money, but we've got 3 experience to build ships. So it's not really worth doing that to look at. So if you want to build a section requires 2 experience to build, but a prow has different experience, but they're usually quite high. So this one will cost 7, and a chisel prow, chisel stain will cost 8. We would need 8 experience. We need to add more stuff. So let's spend an action to hire 2 journeymen. We have John Kelly, $4, gives us an experience. 1 strength, he can be given mechanical orders and he can repair. And William Robinson gives us a black cube, 1 strength, and can repair. So neither of them particularly great. You might as well hire them. So that's $6. And our last action, we get a black cube from this guy, fake pool, And then for our last action, we are going to do our special action for Norfolk. We're going to recycle this guy, which means he's discarded, to gain a mechanic. And the mechanic to gain is H. Angamar. +1 to our concussion check, so he's a pretty good steerer. 2 experience, and he gives us a black cube, and he does all the orders on our fish boat. So we get another black cube from him. And that was an action. That was our last action for this season. So now we go to the event. And our event. A great battle in Virginia occupies rail and river traffic for days and weeks. If located in Norfolk, Richmond, or Petersburg, deduct 1 action next season, which we are. So unfortunately, we get 1 action less next season. If located elsewhere, roll a die. So we've just got 1 action less next season. So going into next season, move across, we do the income. So actions was 2 -1, so we've got 1 action next season. And income is 4 + 5, so we get $9. And now this is complete, so this comes off. And these guys come back. So our experience now, let's take our crew, is we have 3 from the shop, and we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 experience. I put our crew now. These are our crew guys. So we are on 10 experience, which is enough to build quite a big chunk of our ship, of our fish boat. And we have plenty of money. So for this 1 action, let's do a build action. So for a fish boat, be a valid fish boat, we need a stern and a prow. We need a hatch. If we don't have an engine, the engines are quite expensive, so it'll be a while before we get an engine. We need dive planes. Actually, we don't actually need dive planes. We do need a steering link. We need a propeller, and we really need a ballast tank and a level tank. There's the others we can have instead. So okay, if we did these sections, some of these sections have like 3 weights on them, but the others have 2, and I don't get why. So we're doing section. You always want the 2 weight ones. So first we've got to decide our prow, and we have options. See what options we have. Sure, we've got more options than that. Yeah, there you go. So we have 4 options. We've got a snub prow, $7. We put 1 guy in here and 1 weight. Keep in mind that our ballast tank, we can find our ballast tank, which we will need, goes into the prow, and it removes 1 guy from the prow. So this would be like 1 weight without any way of countering it. You can have a sturdy prow, +1 concussion check when we get that far. 1 guy, 2 weight. We're right at the limit for the experience. So we've got 10 experience, so we can buy this. It is expensive though. Beautiful prow. 1 weight, you put 2 guys in, $8. 10 experience. I got a needle prow, got no weight. And I have 1 guy in there, costs $10. I quite like a chisel prow, so we'll go the chisel prow. Our boat tends to go down here. Then we need some sections. Sections are all pretty much the same. Just make sure you get the ones with the 2 weight. So you can just to have, you can have 3 sections. But I've never done it. Never had 3. Make a big boat. I think it's better having 3 sections. Let's go for 3 sections. The last little 6 part, and then we can have our stern. So we just stern doesn't have to match the. Oh, we've got that tapered prow. And notice that one. So I've got a tapered prow. Have 3 guys in there. 3 weight. Um, Pretty not bad actually. Do we go with the tapered prow? A little bit cheaper. Extra weight, but we can have an extra guy in there to make up for that. And if you have 2 guys in there, if one of them comes fatigue, it doesn't automatically incapacitate the section. It's a longer piece though. I need to try and squeeze that in. So let's go with that one. So our stern, low rudder stern, 101, but that's expensive. Don't quite get why that's so expensive. Blunt stern, can't have any guide in there. A long stern, that goes, I think that's the one that goes for our tape per hour. That is expensive. Look at that 13. If you go for that one, then I think we and our chisel stern, which is 9. So currently we're spending 6, 10, 14, 18. This long stern would be 18, which takes to 31. We have got enough for it. So, tell you what, let's go this long stern. It's the longest fish boat I've ever built. You can build one more item, one more part of the boat. So at the moment we spend 6, 10, 18, 31. So we pay our 31 money, see what we're left with. 10, 31. Everything is less than 10 experience. And we are left with 15. And 15 is enough, I think, to get our ballast tank. So our ballast tank costs us 5 money. Now let's pay for our ballast tank. That's 6 items. Ballast tank needs to go into a prow and it reduces the space by 1. Okay, that was our one action for the autumn of 1861. So go to the event. The event's got a big one. The US Navy's seizure of Confederate diplomat Mason and Slidell from the British merchantman Trent as rumours coming thick and fast. Newspapers hint that British recognition of the Confederacy is imminent. Roll a die. We have a 6. 6. 1 to 7. Noisy diplomatic posturing and spirited rallies portside, but nothing substantial results. This result has no effect. Okay, so now we are in winter 1862. Actions, we have 2 actions. 1 and 1. And money, we're just getting $4. And none of our investors give us any extra money in winter. So $4. Or $14, not much. So Fortunes of War. Roll our dice. And we get a 9. So winter 1862. 9. Word from your associates at the rail depot as it that Yankee ships entered the Eder Passes south of New Orleans. Roll a die. Another 9. If odd, you soon learn that Yankee ships ran upriver, gunned past the old forts, and federal troops now occupy New Orleans. Remove the New Orleans location card from play. If your location is New Orleans, either change sides immediately, or the only action during the action phase is change location. So we are not in New Orleans, but New Orleans is now out the game. It's being captured. It's out the game. Nothing else happens to us there. Okay, so actions. Contracts are a bit low. Money's a bit low, so let's go for a contract. The only contract available to us is this $3 one for 3 seasons, requires 3 experience. So we think the $3 marker, 3 seasons is autumn, and we need to provide 3 experience. So it doesn't really matter. Let's just do 3. These will go up into the $3 slot. Yeah, now onto our shop. And maybe up to the game until contracts fixed. That was action 1. Action 2, let's do a recruit action again. Let's recruit 2 journeymen. And we have John Marshall, $3, 1 experience. Whenever he's part of the crew, so every mission we go on, he adds a black cube to the pot, which is always useful. And Robert Brockbank, it's expensive. Gives us an experience, doesn't really give us much up there. It's 1 strength and 1 repair action. I'll still buy them, $7. Goes through. And that was our 2nd action, so that was the end of winter. So onto the event. The Confederate Congress establishes the Bureau of Subsistence. You may secure any one contract offered in previous seasons. Also, you may cancel 1 or more contracts you have already without penalty. Could be quite useful because there was a couple of. We've got quite a lot of experience in our crew still. I think I quite liked. So from spring 1861, I quite like this $5 contract for 2 seasons. Cost us 4 experience, but I think we will go for that one. So we took out $5 contract. So we couldn't take a $3 contract because you can only have the 1 of each dollar contract. This is 2 seasons, so it's going to go down there, and we have to provide 4 experience. So 2, 3, 4. And these will go into our $5 contract slot. And that is winter of 1862 gone. And when we go to spring 1862, we've got to get 2, 3 actions. We are going to get $5, $10, $13. It's a bit better. $18. And we are going to roll for our fortune to war. And we rolled a 9. Oh, lots of 9s tonight. So, spring 1862. One of your men recommends his cousin. He's just come from Tennessee, where he's escaped that state's draft. Seems half of this county escaped to Kentucky. But my cousin is loyal. He just can't be in the army, and he can't go back now, especially seeing how General Smith is fixing to eradicate the invaders. You may hire a journeyman. Okay, so let's take a journeyman. We have only meant to blow the bloody doors off Michael Caine. $1. Let's just hire for $1. Can't go wrong for $1. Can't go down for $1. Okay, actions. think Michael Caine's not bad. He's got 2 strength. We always look for strength. But John Kelly. So I think we'll do our first action. I think we'll do our special action for Norfolk, which was to recycle a journeyman to gain a mechanic. So we'll put in discard in. We'll gain a mechanic. And we had Baxter Watson, so we didn't really gain much there. He is good because we do get a black cube in the trade pool for every mission we go on. Would have cost $5. Our second action will be to hire 2 journeymen. And we have Charles Elsbrog. He's cheap, $2, an experience, 2 strength. But every mission we put him on, he gives us the red cube, which is not good. And Nicholas Davis, $2. He is Iron Man, which means he can take 2 panic tokens before it becomes panicked, repair, and 1. So these will cost us $5. So $5. And then our final action, 3, 4, 5. We haven't got much money. We are rolling a few nines tonight. So let's take a risk. Let's do an investment action. So, an investment action, we look at find the investment table. Okay, so the investment table, choose the amount of money to invest. We are going to invest $10, and we are going to roll a dice. Depending on how much we get, it gives us. So we really want to roll a 6 or more to get our money back, at least. No real modifiers. We haven't got 3 or more investors, we've got 1. So ideally, we want an 8 or 9. We've been rolling quite a few 9s. So if you can get another 9 here, that'd be great. 2 or less will be a disaster. And we've got a 3, which is not great. So a 3 will give us $9, so we've lost $1. It's unfortunate. Our high rolls deserted us when we needed them most. So, 5. Actually, it's 10. We'll take 1. $9. And that was our last action. Onto the event of spring 1862. If Norfolk is already captured, the event has no effect. If not yet captured, Hampton Roads sees the first clash of ironclads in naval history. Roll a die. So I think this won't be bad for us because we are in Norfolk. And we rolled a 4. If the number rolled is even, the Virginia gets the better of their Yankee adversary. Add a black cube to the face field. Got 4 in there now. If odd, Norfolk is soon in federal hands. Remove the Norfolk location card. Actually, that's not case. Doesn't happen. So we are safe. Because you're all even. So then now we move on to summer of 1862. We are going to get 2 actions. Money wise, we are going to get 6, 11, 12, 13, 14 money. 14 money. $5 contract is now complete. That comes off. Which means these guys come back. That's it. We now roll for our fortunes of war. A 1. Sure, that's not going to be good. Summer 1862. His eyes as yellow as lemon, sir. Yellow fever sweeps the city, make an epidemic check. This is not going to be good. Epidemic check. Check how it's done. I've done an epidemic check before. No, it's not good. Okay. So no one in sick bay, so they would have died automatically. Okay, so what we need to do, we look at our epidemic check. We count how many personal cards we have, including the ones on contracts. So we have 2 on contract, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 in play. So we're looking at this column. So we want a high number here. Right, I need a high number here. We've been rolling 9s all night. 4. Well, when we need high numbers, we're not getting them. So a 4 means 2 are going to die. Actually, shuffle together your personal card, including those assigned to a contract. Draw the number indicated. Do this randomly and blindly. You can remove one of them from play. They have died. The others are sick bay. S means, because we did get an S as well. The shop is shuttered by local authorities. You may not perform recruit or build actions this season. Remove all contract markers from the calendar if there are any. Okay, so that $3 contract is gone. Take all these guys down here. So we shuffle these up. They hard to close, so I don't see what I'm taking out. So first we're going to reach, we've got to 2. So eyes still closed. This guy is going to die. This guy is going to sick bay. So our mechanic's going to die. Our mechanic, he will die. Baxter Wilson, dead, out the game, never coming back. Rest in peace. Our investor is in sick bay. So our sick bay is here. We'll just be off. Sick bay is just off camera there. And the rest just go back to the shop, but you can't do anything this season. Can't recruit or build. So, what actions should we do? We can't build, we can't recruit. So, looking at the letters the letters that we can go for, just to show you, they are quite difficult to get. So, for the letters of Mark, we select a dollar amount, we invest that much dollars. We look at our trading level, which is currently 0, and that's what number we've got to roll above. So even if you rolled a 20, you'd actually get a 10. There is some modifiers. Doesn't matter. 1864, 1865. 1 player investor influence. We've only got 1 investor, so that's +1. There's been extra action or 3 black cubes. So going back to the letters, they are quite difficult. So even if you invested $20, we'd need to roll a 9. Probably give yourself a +1 die roll, spend the extra action. So that's, I can only do 1 of these. You may spend an extra action or recycle 3 black cubes from the fate peel to add +1 to the die. You may do both once per attempt. That could maybe give us a +2. We can spend an extra action and spend 3 cubes, and we can spend 1. So technically, we could get it down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 or more. But we really want to get our training level up to 1 before we do that. And the other one's a little bit not quite as hard, less recruitment. For $20, then we get 9. We get a +2, we have the letter of mark, which might want to get that first. +1 per investor. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be 5 or more, but it costs us 20. That'd be $25 if you have to pay the +5. So it's quite expensive. Oh, but this one, use the economics experience of one person your choice would not want a sick pay. So it might be easier to get this one. In fact, we might go for this letter of recruitment. So we've only got, the best one we've got is a 2. Use the column corresponds to the experience of one person, your choice. But you may spend funds. So let's say you spend 15 to give us a 7. Let the roll pay that amount. I think it's the roll of die. No roll is equal to either the number. The attempt succeeds. Required letter of recruitment. If less than the number, it fails. Each investor in play adds 1 to the number. So we've got an investor in play, but he's in sick bay. I think that still counts. He's not dead. He's still in sick bay. We haven't got the letter of mark. That'd be at 2. And we spend extra action, which we've got an extra action, and recycle 3 black cubes. We've got that, and we can spend another 5 if we need to. So let's go for a letter of recruitment. So he's our highest guy with 2 experience. He's not on sick bay or on a contract. We are going to spend 15, I think. 15 money, which means we need to roll a 7 or higher. So hopefully straight off the bat. We haven't been getting very lucky with these numbers. We've got an investor, that's +1, so that's a 6 or higher. We've got a 5. So +1 after die roll, so then we can spend an action to give us a +1, which gives us a +2 modifier, which gives us our 7. We get +1 for our investor. We get +1 for the extra action. We spend 15, got a 7. Equal to higher, and we've acquired a letter of recruitment. So where's our letters? So we've got our letter of recruitment, so now hire sailors. Let's leave that there to show that we've got it. So our letter of recruitment is going to be just up here in the corner. So that is summer 1862. Let's do the event. If New Orleans is not yet captured, it is now. Remove the New Orleans location card. If your location is New Orleans, you'll need to change sides or end the game. If New Orleans is already captured, roll a die. Well, that's a raw die because it is already off the game. Roll a 1. If odd, increase the price gauge by 1, which is not great. So our price gauge here has gone up to +1. So everything's going to cost +1 more money. Okay, that's our summer of 1862 done. On to autumn 1862. We are going to get 2 actions. And money-wise, we are going to get 4 money. Don't see much. Especially now we're paying +1 for all the extra money. So our income done. Our Fortunes of War roll with another 1. I know this is not going to be good. Autumn 1862. Your sister's son is captured at the Battle of South Mountain. Pay $5 for his parole. So there we go. That's just cost us $5. I'm going to assume the price gauge doesn't mean you have to pay a plus one because it's a fixed amount for this parole. But I will just double check that. And I'm going to say no, that doesn't have anything. Maybe an example somewhere which says you still got to pay the plus one for the Fortunes of War whenever you have to pay anything out in the scenario book. But I'm doing as a part of the build and recruit actions only. So that's our Fortunes of War actions. We can now recruit sailors. We can recruit one sailor. So let's recruit a sailor. Well, till 11. I don't know how expensive these sailors are. Hopefully they're not too expensive. So a sailor is going to cost. Oh, they don't cost anything. Oh, well, that's pretty good. So when we get them, because well, they're not very particularly great, but you give us a black cube, then we take it. So 5. So it wasn't particularly great. I'm not sure if you want to. I think we need to. When do we do a contract? I think we should do a contract, try and get a bit of extra money in. So our last action is going to be to contract. It's going to be autumn 1862. So we have a $2 contract for 2 seasons or a $3 contract for 2 seasons, which require 3. So let's do the $3 contract for 2 seasons with 3 experience. So $3 contract, 2 seasons, it's the spring. We need to play 3 experience. So let's do this guy, and it doesn't really matter, I don't think. This guy, they go into the $3 contract, and then the action is done. So we go sick bay. Got to remember to do sick bay this turn. So we roll a dice. And hope we don't roll a 1. If it's even, he recovers. His party stays there. It's a 9, so he stays in sick bay. Now the event for summer, autumn 1862. Autumn 1862. If the price gauge is 1 or less, increase it by 1. Is 1, so we increase it by 1, 2 plus 2. Great. Then, if Norfolk has not yet been captured, it is now remove the Norfolk location card from play. So there we go. Norfolk is gone, which is where we were located. If located in Norfolk, you may either change sides or the game ends. If not located in Norfolk, or if Norfolk is already captured, increase the alert level by 1 if it's a 0. So we have to do a change sides routine, which I do not know. Changing sides. Here we go. If the event text or Fortunes of War results allows you to change side and you choose to do so, keep all both tiles and mechanisms, including conveyance and charge, if any. Recycle all contracts. So all contracts go out the window. Got these guys. Remove all personae from play except 1, your choice. The rest are sent to prison. Sorry guys, you are going to prison. And I think we'll keep James McClintock because he's 2 strength. He does all the goods. Here we go. So he's the one we're keeping. Sorry guys, you are all in prison. Also removed the card decks. So prison. So we'll come back over here. All these have gone. Journeyman have gone. Journeyman have gone. Sailors and mechanic. Oh, and this guy in sick bay. Gone to prison, I'm afraid. He's in prison as well. And then we have to. We are currently in autumn 1862, but we're just on the event. So I'm just going to remember. So these guys going to come to play. So just we kept him. I hope we keep the perhaps we keep the boat. That's recruitment. I don't think we need anymore. Yeah, 11. He's come off. Put them there, autumn 1862. And we flip the board over to the USA side. We were in autumn 1862 at the very end. You can see the late level stays the same. Actions, we've got none left. Ones. So let's put our cards in here. These investors. We need shuffle because I don't know what they are anyway. Journeyman. Mechanics. Sailors. And allocations. And commission card. Okay. Diamond checks are allowed. Build actions are free. Pistons, reverse sailors are allowed. Recruit action. Training mission allowed only when in Washington. If not seaworthy, you are automatically assigned to Washington. I think we're going to end up in Washington if we're not in commission yet, so I can stay up there. See what else happens. Okay, we set the training level to 0. Set funds to -5. Okay, so our money's going to go. Just board. The only time we are going to use the markers, if I can find out where I put them over there, is to go to negative money because I can't use negative poker chips. Set the alert level to 1. And I lose my 5 black cubes. A red cube. You are commissioned. Welcome to the Navy. So we do have our commission card. I'll keep this up here. Congratulations and welcome to US Navy. And your new location is Washington. Hey, Washington. Well, yeah, no income, no income, no income, and no income. Gift the rest of the gun team game and skip the start of the next season. So we would be starting from winter 1863, which will be part 2. And we still have our one guy who report with us. Okay, so join us for part 2, where we will carry on the game as part of the US Navy.